All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakak. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson talking about how the Israelite woman is too proud, man, and how she's going to struggle to find allies or any comfort when all hell breaks loose, man, in the day of Yahweh's wrath, in the day of judgment, in the day of the apocalypse, man, right? She's going to struggle to find any allies, man, because she's damn near destroyed her or been a major part of the destruction of her whole nation. She ain't completely to blame by herself, but she's been a major cog in the destruction of the Israelite nation, man, right? And then tried to act like she don't know why it's messed up. Here it is, she messed it up and helped in a big way. And then she's there looking like, man, I don't know why we're like this. And trying to blame everyone else as an excuse as to why she's the way how she is. But don't blame how they act as being anything to do with what she does, man. And this is an accumulation of all the things that we see the apostles say, all the things that we've seen ourselves, right? All the things that we see people in the world say about Eve. She's going to struggle to find allies, man. And she actually thinks in her mind that Esau would trade her in for, would like replace his own woman for her. But that's not what's going to be happening, man. When all hell breaks loose, people are going to go back to their own nation, right? This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14. And it shall be as the trace roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. So where people can't flee into their own land to be with their own people, in whatever land they're in, they're going to turn to their own people there. So the Edomite man is going to turn to the Edomite woman, right? The Ishmaelite man is going to turn to his own women. The Elamite man, the same. All the nations' men are going to turn to their own women, and they're going to be thinking about self-preservation of their own nation. But the Israelite man is not going to be turning to his own woman in as major of a state, because the day of the Lord is coming for the correction of our nation. So certain people from our nation are not going into the kingdom, man. Certain people from our nation are getting taken out on that day, right? That's a day of heavy judgment for the nation of Israel. It's not a day where we all just join together and hold hands and a love song gets made at the end of it from the Israelite man to the Israelite woman apologizing for how we did her wrong. That's not what's going to be happening. Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 6, ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So a lot of Israelite men in that time are going to be getting taken out, man. And a lot of women too. And they're not going to be able to find, the Israelite woman is not going to be able to find it easy to find allies in that time. The Israelite man will find it easy to find more allies than the Israelite woman, because the Israelite man's strong. I know that the Israelite woman thinks she's strong and she thinks she's got hands running her mouth like Clarissa Shields. But as you've seen with Clarissa Shields, all that running of that mouth, as soon as she got that left hook, her feet were sprawled out in the sky, man. Right? A lot of you Israelite women think that black woman sass is going to be able to make you get through the kingdom. Like if someone rolls up on you with a baseball bat saying, be arch, give me your food, you're going to be like, I ain't giving you shit. I ain't giving you shit. That ain't going to do nothing. He's going to lick you upside the head and hit a home run with your head. That all that black woman sass stuff works in the world when you're doing customer service. That black woman sass works for dirty customer service, man, to get to not give a refund or something like that, or to be at a restaurant as a server and not give no good customer service because you don't think you're gonna get a tip. Black woman sass don't work in a time where all hell's breaking loose and people can get violent. Black woman sass ain't gonna work in that time, man. That ain't gonna be able to get you through the time to come. And because you've been doing all that black woman sass, men ain't gonna want to deal with you. You're gonna struggle to find allies, man, because you're not just gonna be able to go from acting as hype as you do now to just becoming feminine all of a sudden. People ain't gonna believe that it's genuine. They're not gonna believe you because it's not gonna be genuine. Because the only reason you're gonna be acting like that is because now you realize that you've effed up. Verse 7 again, alas, for that day is great, that there is none like it is, even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? The time that's coming, a lot of people are going to perish, man, and there's going to be a lot of men that would have helped you women, but they're going to be perishing in that time. They ain't going to make it through the time that's coming. A lot of men that would have helped you women and would have standed up in defense of you women, they ain't making it out of the time to come, man. They ain't going to be making it out. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 33, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So the men that would have helped you women, the men that would have been a lot of you women's allies, are going to die. Right? They are going to die, man. And you're going to be left. Now, they're going to receive heavy judgment, but you women are going to receive even worse judgment because you're going to be alone in that time. A lot of you women are going to be alone in that time, man. And they're going to be made to deal with how you acted in this world, man. You're going to be made to realize all the decisions that you was making when you was having fun in this world, thinking that you was just chilling out on TikTok, running your mouth, right? On Snapchat, all these different apps and all that, running your mouth. He was making these outlandish dating app profiles, talking about, I got 5 kids and I ain't here for no games. I ain't here for no games. I'm tired of messing around and I need a strong man that's this, and this, and this, and this, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And he's going to take care of all my kids. But I'm celibate. You know what I mean? That is not going to be going into the kingdom of heaven. Wanting your nails to get done every damn week like you can't learn how to do them yourself. You're going to pay someone all this money to do some nails. Mate, some of the things that you women do are ridiculous, man. And then on top of all of that, a lot of you women think that what you look like with makeup on is what you really look like. So you treat men based on how you look when you got makeup on, instead of how you look when you wake up in the morning and look yourself in the mirror without any of that stuff on. If you treated men based on how you look when you look like that, the world would be a better place, because you'll know that you're not really who you act like you are. You know? Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16, moreover Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. Right? And Yahweh's discovering a lot of you women's secret parts, man. Some of you women are doing some madness out here, man. Some of the things that I see that you Israelite women have did are crazy as hell, man. And it shows that we are, in fact, the Israelites, man. Women spiking children's candies with fentanyl and all kind of crazy stuff, man. Women kidnapping other women's children. Women setting up fight rings at nurseries. Setting up a fight club and all that at a nursery. Some of you women have lost your mind, man. You've lost the plot. You women are eating booty hole. That's another forte of you women. And then you got the nerve to try and think that you're exposing men when you say, oh, I did this to him. Well, you did it too. Booty smelling breath. You did it too, man. And you ain't exposing yourself when you say that you did that to somebody as well. Because that means you do that to people. So where's your own dignity too? They're wicked, but so are you. You was the other side of the contract, man, when you do that. Verse 18. In the day the Lord will take in that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords and their round ties like the moon. Now, a lot of you Israelite women, and I ain't even trying to say this because I'm just on a mission to burn out the Israelite woman, man. But a lot of you Israelite women, right, weigh more than the average Israelite man. Right? Let's say there's an Israelite man that weighs 180 pounds, which is just around like 13 stone maybe, which is around like about maybe 80 to 83 kilograms or something like that, right? The average Israelite woman will weigh more than that. And it's very rare to see an Israelite woman that weighs about 120 pounds. That's rare to see an Israelite woman that weighs 120 pounds, man. They're normally Way like even if they do have some kind of a nice physique on the body and all that, it will be like around 150 pounds that they weigh, man. You know what I mean? They'll very rarely be small and petite Israelite women that have got a body on them and all of that kind of stuff, man. They'll normally be big as hell, talking about their thick, which is why the apostles be calling out you women, man, and calling y'all Big Shirley and all of that, man, because that's what you are. That didn't just come out of nowhere. That character that Eddie Murphy made, right? That didn't come out of nowhere. You think anyone's gonna be simping over that when all hell breaks loose? You think a man's gonna be going out in an apocalyptic world fighting to get food to bring it home to some Rasputia? No, fam. That's not gonna be happening. They're gonna run away from that house and never come back. And that woman that's big like that ain't gonna know what to do. She ain't gonna be able to just black woman sass and cause a ruckus in the customer service line and start cursing people out to try and get her own way. That ain't gonna work in that time, man. And I saw examples of it when the lockdown came, man. There's videos on the internet of Israelite women trying to fight over tissue, right? And some of those other women of those other nations weren't having it, man. They was boxing you Israelite women upside your head. I'm saying you ain't getting even one toilet roll, man. They was telling you ain't getting not even one toilet roll, and they were boxing you in your mouth, man. And if nobody came in to step in that time, they would have put your ass in the grave, man. They wasn't helping you. And all that black woman sass that you normally come with wasn't working, man, in that time. It didn't work. And it's going to be worse when all hell breaks loose, man. Verse 18 again, in that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calls and their round ties like the moon. And Yahweh's already ruined a lot of you Israelite women's bodies, man. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, but some of you Israelite women can still pull it on, man, and you'll look real good. But it's not real, though, because a lot has gone into that. A lot of stuff has gone into that image. Like it's like probably 70% of it is not real. With the majority of women, not even you Israelite women in that, the majority of women don't even look like what you really see them look like when they're out and about in the world, man. They look way different. Verse 20, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, and he ain't talking about those bonnets that we be seeing women wearing now, that hood rat hairnet, man. I've yet to see any woman wearing one of those hood rat hairnet things out in public that hasn't got a loud ass mouth, man. They're always on the phone loud as hell. You're having to hear their whole conversation, man. Don't sound feminine at all. Looking like they came out the damn hairdresser. But it's night time, so you know the hairdresser ain't open. That's their hat, fam. And I think it's ridiculous, man. So what are Israelite men going to be going out of their way to try and defend that when all hell breaks loose? No, they're not, man. They're not going to be doing that. Verse 21, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well set hair boldness, and instead of a stomacher a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And really, since even ancient Israel, man, the Israelite woman's continued to get less and less attractive, man, until we see what we've got of our Israelite woman now. Now, that doesn't mean that every single Israelite woman is unattractive, because still the most attractive women that you're going to see in the world are going to be Israelite women. But they'll just be proud and they'll be a demon, though. So that will make them ugly for the most part. But then on average, the Israelite woman is not attractive no more, man. And I'm just saying that because it's true. Now, in the kingdom of heaven, every single Israelite woman is going to be attractive, all of them. But that ain't what we're dealing with right now. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well set hair, boldness. The majority of Israelite women barely have any more hair than me, and I ain't got none. I'm bold as all hell, man. I can't grow no hair like that. My hair is through, bro. So I know what bold looks like. And the average Israelite woman, if they didn't have that wig on their head, would have the same thing as me out here, man. My hairline's through, and so's theirs, the majority of them, man. And that's why when you see these Israelite women a lot of the time wearing a hairnet or a head covering, it's not because they're trying to be righteous. It's because they ain't got no hair under there. It's not because they're like, oh, the law says we're supposed to have a head wrap on. No, they're doing it because they ain't got no hair. Because how many Israelite women that can grow some kind of long hair do you really ever see with a head wrap covering their hair? None of them. You very rarely see that, man. And instead of a stomach at a girding of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty, now here's the point I was trying to get to, man. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. So a lot of you Israelite women are going to struggle to find allies because the men that normally would have been a ride or die for you women, they're going to die. Right? I'm going to say it again. A lot of the men that would have normally helped you Israelite women are going to die, man. And they're going to be left with the men that don't want to help you because they think that you're evil and they know what you've been up to, man. They know that you've been doing wickedness out here. So they are not going to help you. Right? They are not going to, man. They're not going to want to help you. They're not going to want to save you from all your bad decisions. And they're going to leave you to deal with all the wickedness that you've been doing, man. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground, because she's going to have no allies, man. She wouldn't be sitting on the ground if she had allies and had loads of people that she wanted to help her. She's going to have no allies. And when she realized that she's had no allies, some of them are going to try and change from their ego ways, and they're going to turn to the Israelite men that are left, right? And say this, verse Isaiah to the 4 verse 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our approach. But a lot of these Israelite women don't know that those 7 women is not just 7 women in general. It's going to be a multitude of women, right? An innumerable amount of women for each individual Israelite man of the elect. And it's not just going to be Israelite women only, because some of these other women of these other nations are going to be slick, going to think they're slick as well. They're going to be like, oh man, the Ishmaelite man's through. I have been secretly watching those videos on YouTube of what them Hebrew Israelite people be saying, and I've seen that they said that this stuff was going to happen. And my husband, that's talking all that Quran stuff, he don't seem to know nothing about what's going on. But them Hebrew guys, they said that this stuff was going to happen. But my husband was talking all that Dajjal, one eye's milky and one eye's bulging stuff. That there's gonna become a man that's got one eye that's bulging, and he's gonna come out the heavens and all that. But I ain't seen none of that one eye bulging stuff. I'm seeing the Karagma, what they said. So I'm gonna try and jump ship and go away from the men of my nation and try and run to some next person of a next nation, and some of them are gonna get rejected too, man. But the Israelite woman isn't going to just be able to try and be like, well, I'm an Israelite woman. I'll get first dibs on what Israelite man I want, and you can have my leftovers. It's not going to be a thing like that. That woman's going to have to shut her mouth too, man. And all of the women that don't want to do that and want to think that they can try and come with that pride, they're going to find out exactly that this world in that time is not like what it is now. They're going to find that it's not the time that we're talking about now, where they can try and come with all that black woman sass. The Israelite woman's going to struggle to find allies in the time that we're coming, man. Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. I remember there was one dream that one brother had, right? One of the elders, he had a dream where he said that there was loads of people trying to get into his house, right? And then he was fighting or whatever, and then it just turned out to be just loads of women that came into the house. And then he was in the house and he must have asked one woman to do something in a dream. This is a dream, by the way. He never really did this. This is a dream, right? But I could picture this happening in the future, but it was a dream. And he must have asked one woman to do something, and then she made a face, man. And he just grabbed her and threw her through the wall, man. And then all the other women there got in line. That's the kind of time that we're talking about. Black woman sass and all of that ain't going to be getting nothing going, man. Ain't going to be getting you have to damn near be Thanos in this world for an Israelite woman to act right. Especially of the Southern Kingdom, man. You have to damn near be Thanos a lot of the time, man. You have to have conquered all the Avengers, whooped Hulk's ass. You know what I mean? beat up Wolverine, all kind of crazy shit for her to just act right for one day. And that's why even guys that have all the money and all this stuff, that they're tall as hell, basketball players, rich as hell, they show themselves to be masculine in their sport and all that all day. The Israelite woman still takes them for a dickhead too. So what can you people say, man? The Israelite woman's going to struggle to find allies in the time that's coming, man. She's going to struggle. Because the men of all the other nations ain't going to want her. Because they're going to be coming back to being tribal for their own people. But the Israelite men that would have helped them, they're going to die. And the Israelite men that are going to be left are going to be those of the elect. And they ain't going to want wicked women like you. So all you Israelite women that might come across this, that have probably turned this off already, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about women like you ain't going to be wanted in that time. All you Israelite women that would have seen a video title that's going into how you women are wicked and would have like, I ain't trying to hear never one adult. Well, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about women like you. You're the kind of woman I'm talking about, man. You're the kind of woman that's been saying, oh, y'all been saying that and the Lord ain't came yet. I'm talking about women like you, man. Women like that, of that kind of mentality, right? That thought that the black woman was down because he's just a bum. You know what I mean? Because he's just dusty and all that. As if y'all ain't dusty yourself. I think it's dusty, right? To put weave in your hair. I think that's quite dusty, personally. You know what I mean? I think it's quite dusty to weigh more than the men of your nation on average, or damn near close enough. You shouldn't even be 20 pounds within the range of what we weigh. And it ain't all like we're just some bodybuilders and Mr. Universe and we've all just got six packs. But the Israelite man takes care of his body way better than the Israelite woman does. If you go into any gym, anywhere in the UK, right, anywhere in America, I bet you're going to see more Israelite men in those gyms than you're going to see Israelite women in there. I bet that. I bet that. Now, when the Israelite woman does go to the gym, she looks very good. You know what I mean? But that ain't really happening out here like that. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. And the world's rejoiced over us, man. And we got a lot of enemies. And they've all rejoiced at our down state, man. They've all had something to say. Oh, the black man's a deadbeat daddy. He doesn't take care of a kid. He hates his kids. Oh, he's always going to leave his kids behind and this and this and that. They always had something to say. Oh, black men are thieves. Oh, the black man's a thief, man. You better make sure you lock your door when he's about. Oh, the black man's a thief, man. They're thugs, man. They all sell drugs. They all sell drugs. They all this, they all that. They're all criminals. Oh, I wouldn't hire him. He's probably going to steal from the till, mate. All right, don't bring him around the money. He's going to steal. Oh, I'm not too sure about that black geezer over there, you know. Or a new black geezer's moved into the neighborhood. Oh, there goes the neighborhood. The property values are going to go down now. They've always had something to say, man. And even our own women have had stuff to say. When the Edomite man and all these other nations haven't had something to say about us and might have been praising us in a certain scenario, the Israelite one would come by and give them some ammunition to say something about us, man. Verse 9, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him. So we know that there's such a reason why we're like this, because we sinned and therefore we're cursed, man. The Israelite man has been cursed with having women that are wicked as hell like how you women are. And you women have been cursed by having men that to a certain degree don't have all the things that you desire and they're not as masculine as you might think is necessary for you to be feminine. But that's your curse. That's your punishment for your sins. So when you look at the Israelite man and he ain't doing the things and he ain't got the things that you think that you need in a husband, that's your fault because you sinned against Yahweh. And when we look at our women of our nation and we see that our women don't have the things that we want them to have, that's our fault because we sinned against Yahweh. Verse 10. In fact, verse 9 again, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So this ain't going to be forever for us. But a lot of people thought it was, though. So they was disrespectful, man. Then she that is my enemy shall see it. So the Israelite woman's going to start to see the change around of how the Israelite man's getting boosted up. And she's already seen it, man. And that's why she's getting mad at these passport bros, guys, coming into men's houses, running their mouth, talking about you can go over to another country and get another woman, just leave us out of it. You're in the country that the men ran to. You're in the country, running your mouth, sitting on the couch, running your mouth with that black woman sass. Mate, people are tired of that, man. People are tired of that. People are tired of that Clarissa Shields spirit, man. She's a big epitome of that. Hyper aggressive, but they're not whooping no Israelite man. All you Israelite women really talk to the Israelite man like you think you can whoop him. And the reason why you talk like that is because you know that the Edomite man has been given a power that you don't understand over the Israelite man, even though the Israelite man is really physically stronger than him. So you use that to your advantage. You Israelite women have been using the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and trying to use it to your advantage, but it doesn't work to your advantage because you're cursed too. And what you think you've been doing as putting the curse to our advantage, to your advantage, is really just Deuteronomy 20, 28 and 56, man. That's really what you've been doing. You've just been having your eyes evil towards your husband. You think you've been doing something that's to your benefit, but really, that's just you fulfilling what Yahweh said the curse was going to be. Which now that I've mentioned it a couple of times, I'm going to read it, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 56, 55 to verse 56. In fact, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot on the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be even towards the husband of her bosom. So when you black women have been sending Esau against your own men, you think you've been doing it to your own benefit, but really, you've just been fulfilling this curse. And toward her son, a lot of you Israelite women, you don't mind your sons killing people for you, for your benefit. And you'll know that your son's a drug dealer and a criminal, and you'll let it slide until the police keep kicking your door down a couple of times. And then you're like, nah, man. And you might bait him out and get him arrested. But you could have stopped his ass from being a demon way back. You could have did that way back, but when you was getting the money and you was chilling, you didn't care. But then when the trouble starts coming to your house a couple of times, then you're like, you know what, this ain't right. This ain't right. You shouldn't be doing this. And towards a daughter, a lot of you Israelite women, you hate your daughters, man. And I've seen it with my own eyes, man. A lot of you Israelite women are prepared to go toe to toe, man. Throw hands with your daughters. A lot of you Israelite women will try and sleep with your daughter's own husband, man. You'll do that. A lot of you women will do that. You'll see that your daughter's got a handsome Israelite man or something like that, or a handsome boyfriend or whatever, and you'll be trying to flirt with him in the house, man. Coming downstairs in your nighting gown and all that, with your leg all out. I've just sprayed perfume on, trying to entice him with smells and all that, trying to play dumb. And then his simple ass might go, "Oh, you smell nice, Mrs. Johnson." And then you're trying to seduce your own daughter's son, man. And vice versa too. Some of you daughters try and seduce, because you know these Israelite women don't be staying with the father. So some of you daughters try and seduce your mom's new man that ain't your dad, and you'll be coming downstairs in booty shorts and all kind of crazy shit with cleavage hanging out, man. And that's the curse as well. Verse 57, and toward her young one that cometh from between her feet. A lot of you Israelite women have had so many abortions, it's ridiculous. And then you got the nerve to try and talk about how the black man's violent. So some of you Israelite women have got more bodies than the men have got. I know I've never got rid of no one's life. But a lot of you Israelite women can't say that. Can you? Can some of you Israelite women say that? No, you can't. And all of these things are an accumulation of how a lot of you are going to struggle to find allies in the time to come, man. And toward the young, verse 57, and toward the young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward the children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the want of all things secretly in the siege. And that's happened already. But guess what? It's going to happen again, man. It's going to happen again. And some of the women that are going to try and show up to the men of the elect, talking about, oh, please, I'll eat my own bread and wear our own apparel. The Israelite man of the elect is going to be able to see it in her eyes like, you're a cannibal. Get the fuck away from me, man. He's going to be able to see in her spirit when he's going to be like, oh my days. You really think you're getting beamed up after what you've did? You ate your children? And he might tell her to her face, man, you ate your children. You're a cannibal now. You can't come nowhere with me. They're able to see in her spirit all the wickedness that she did, man. He's going to know that when all hell broke loose, that she betrayed her own children. She's like, man, y'all are a burden. And she might have ate them. And then 10 minutes later, she might find some food and be cut to the heart that she couldn't have just waited 10 more minutes to find real food, right? Instead of eating one of her children, man. These are some of the hard things that are going to be happening in the time to come, man. Some of the things that a lot of people haven't even considered in their mind, even though it's written in the scriptures. Even though a lot of these things have happened before. And even though the scriptures say that there's no new thing under the sun. So if it's happened once, it can happen twice. Right? If it's happened once to the Israelites, it can happen again. Verse 57, and toward a young one that cometh from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the want of all things secretly in the siege. So she's going to try and be slick and try and hide that she did that, man. She's going to try and hide that she did that in the time to come. Just like how she tried to hide it in the past. Them Israelite women, when they did that thing where they boiled their children, that was secret between just two women. That was a secret thing that they did, man. It was secret. Them children would have more than likely been young, not been able to walk, and they secretly did that. Okay, today we're going to eat your child, and tomorrow we're going to eat my child. But after the one woman's belly was full, she came to her senses and ran. And she used the Jacob skill of supplanting to make sure that the other woman did her child first, but she was not guiltless because she's still a murderer for doing that. Right? Wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates, and the enemy's getting ready to distress the Israelites again, man. So why are the Israelite women not going to do that again? They are going to. Look at how wild these Israelite women are these days. They're going to do it again, man. And that's why they're going to have a lot of struggle to find allies, because the men are going to be like, man, look at what you've did to your own people that you came from between your legs. So you think I'm going to trust you to be around me? Micah chapter 7 and verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? And shame's going to cover her because of all the wickedness that she's going to did. From then, from the time where the day of the Lord starts to happen, up until the point where she meets those Israelite men and sees that the things that they said was going to happen. She's going to have did a lot to make it even to that point. She's going to have betrayed. She might have gave men her body, thinking that she's going to get some food, and then they just betray her and run away. She's going to realize, man, I really would do that. I really would do anything for some food. She might give up some box for a tin of beans. And then the guy's like, you know what, actually, it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be. You're only going to get half the beans. She might give up something for all. She's going to have did all kind of crazy stuff in that time, man. A lot of you Israelite women are. You've got to have did some madness, man. You might eat rats. You might have just boiled a rat or eat a rat raw. Just grab a rat in the sewers that you was hiding in, and he's squeaking in it, and you just grab it and eat it. A lot of people are going to do a lot of vile things in the time to come, man. And that's why they're going to be covered with shame as well. Because they're going to have seen the Israelite men that are going to make it through the time, and they're going to be able to see in those men's faces that they still have kept their humanity. They ain't going to be defiled with being a cannibal. They're going to be able to see that they haven't struggled as much as they have, that they've been through things too. But the things that they went through was to try them as gold in the furnace, not to just leave them out there raggedy as hell. There's going to be a difference in the countenance of the men of the elect and the women of the elect too, versus the 2/3 woman that's going to be trodden down as the mire of the streets, man. Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets, man. And this is a warning, man, for you Israelite women out there, that when all hell breaks loose, if you've been running around proud, you're going to struggle to find allies, man. Just having a fat jacksie, I got a fat fang beneath me and that, I got a fat ass and that, all that fat booty business, that ain't going to be what it's going to be, man. That ain't going to be what it's going to be enough to make you be accepted into any kind of group, man. That ain't going to be enough. And I'm going to end the lesson there, man. A lot of you Israelite women are going to struggle to find allies and protection when all hell breaks loose. And I think that's what I'll name the title, man. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.